All right, everybody. I just had some really great drives with FSD Beta. For the last one, let's do the audio and director's commentary. Take me to the 16th Avenue steps. All right. And we're off. Now, you can't quite describe it, but the driving just feels so much more smooth and human-like. You can see there on my right, there was actually a girl on rollerblades and a girl on a skateboard. And it was able to drive very smoothly and confidently despite them being there. And you can see it slowed down for those pedestrians crossing the street. It was kind of hard to see. Now there's a skateboarder in the lane, and it's slowing down appropriately for the skateboarder. The skateboarder's now stopped in the lane. It looks like a kid, and it's waiting for them to cross. I mean, it's getting good. It's getting really good. Okay. It's kind of an interesting pause there. All right, so we're going to head left. So smooth and natural, so human-like. This is the pre-release version of the software. It hasn't even been released yet. And it's already able to handle really dense environments like San Francisco. And most of my drives today have been zero takeover drives. Alright, slowing down a little bit for this guy. Even though there's no stop sign, it's probably going to pause at the crosswalk. This is like a little bit strange that it does this. Okay, it says stopped at crosswalk. Use accelerator or gear shifter to continue. So that's a little weird. I wonder why it did that. I mean, I have seen sometimes it'll ask for accelerator or gear stock confirmation when it doesn't feel confident. So, for example, maybe it was kind of surprised to see that guy jump out, and then it decided, okay, I need to ask for confirmation before I proceed further. But it doesn't necessarily happen every time. Okay, we're making a very slow left turn here. This guy's being patient, but very smooth, very nice. Cruising along here at the speed limit. I had never driven the speed limit in my life before I got FSD. Now, I am much closer to the speed limit much more often. Even though this beta can do some kind of crazy things, like, maybe it might jerk towards this parked car or something. That's not something I've seen it do, but I'm just giving an example of it doing something that, might require a takeover. Even though it can do things like that, it's monitoring my attention, so I'm always ready to take over, and it's making sure I am, and I can respond very quickly, but I'm still making these much safer driving choices and driving in a much safer way. Okay, we've got a right turn coming up with a lot of pedestrians crossing the street, so it's going to have to wait for these people to cross the street before continuing. And there's a guy with his dog. He's dilly-dallying a little bit, not exactly walking a straight line. And now that they're gone, we cross. Very, very good. Very, very good. Okay, I don't like this lane, so I'm going to indicate with the blinker to move over. You can see there are some parked cars up ahead. In general, I've noticed it's not smart enough about predicting when a lane that it's driving in may have parked cars. So sometimes, for example, it'll be in the middle lane, it wants to go to the right to make a right turn up ahead, but it doesn't realize, okay, there's some cars parked here, so this may not be the best lane to travel in until we really get there, or get closer to the turn. So that's something they can improve on, especially in some of the downtown parts of San Francisco. I've noticed this is an issue. because you'll have cars parked on the left and the right, and then there's a left turn lane. But you can work around that by using the blinkers and manually telling it which way you want it to go. Okay, now we have to make a left here. There's no traffic light, it just needs to make sure it's clear to go. And there's also these yellow things, and it did it perfectly. I'm telling you guys, I don't get how people are like, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, yeah, it isn't. It kind of sucks a little bit in some ways, but this was not supposed to be possible with just cameras. The fact that they're already this far, the number of things they've done, people really don't appreciate it. Like, for example, the fact that all of the distance to the car in front, all of the distance to everything is just being calculated with cameras. It's not using any lasers, it's not using any radio waves and using that to find the distance to the object. It's just purely looking at the scene. It sees this car and it knows how to respond. It starts moving over and knows how to handle everything just based on vision. This is the hardest task. Everyone said, okay, well, maybe cameras can recognize traffic lights, maybe it can recognize a motorcycle from a car from an SUV, but it can't tell distance. That's too hard. Well, they did that. They did the hardest thing. So now you think they can't do the other things? Okay, we got a stop car. Looks like someone's unloading groceries. Software just goes around it smoothly, perfectly. We've got hills here. All kinds of crazy hills with San Francisco. Handles it without a problem. Okay, we've got a left turn coming up that's kind of a tough left. I remember having to take over at this left turn in the past because it kind of was making the left turn in a way that was too close to a center divider. So I'm expecting that I'll have to take over again for this left, but let's see, maybe it'll work this time. Okay, we're moving very slowly through this intersection, annoying the people waiting for us, but it's being cautious, making sure that it's confident. And you can always push the accelerator to hurry it along if you're in a situation like that without fully disengaging. Alright, we got some people crossing the street. FSD will give them extra room, stopping a little further from the line. Okay, yeah, this is the challenging one. Let's see if it can pull it off. Okay, this guy's like, what the hell's this guy doing? Why is he going at 1 mile an hour? And oh wow, it pulled it off. It didn't go too close to the divider this time. Very good. You love to see when there was a problem, and now it's not a problem. Okay, we got some people, we got some kids over here. We're gonna make a left carefully. And this is actually the destination. All right. Thanks for joining me on this FSD Beta drive. And we'll do some more tomorrow.